Just a second, folks. Having a long night today. Okay, how you guys doing tonight? It's Monday. It means it's Monday Manga for Quoth the Raven. I'm your host, Louis Brett Raven, 33-year veteran creator, editor, publisher, and podcaster. My co-host is in the room, in the chat room. Chris Hall, howdy. How you doing? It's been a crazy day. Had some really bad weather. Wasn't sure we were actually going to have a chance to get the show on tonight. But it finally calmed down enough that I could trust the internet to stay on, hopefully. So let's go ahead and get to it before it changes its mind, gets worse. Our show tonight, our topic is the Dark Horse collection of Kenichi Sonoda's GUNSMITH CATS. This is the Omnibus Edition, Volume 1. It's 600 pages thick. Nice, heavy edition. So let's see what it's about. GUNSMITH CATS Omnibus Volume 1, $29.99 from publisher Dark Horse. Creator Kenichi Sonoda with translation by Dana Lewis and Torrin Smith. Touch-up art and lettering by Studio Cutie. Released in the USA February 4th, 2025, with an age rating of 18+. This actually came shrink-wrapped with a sticker on it for explicit content. What it's about. Meet Raleigh Vincent and Minnie Mae Hopkins. One's a badass bounty hunter and the other a self-proclaimed bomb specialist. Together they run the weapon shop GUNSMITH CATS when not in pursuit of their newest bounty. While they always try to take on the least dangerous job, they usually get in over their heads and have to call in a few friends to help them out. Think of Raleigh as a female John Wick of a sort, and both women as better and crazier drivers than Dominic Toretto or his crew in the Fast and the Furious series on the hard streets of Chicago, and you'll get the concept of this classic manga. What did I think of this? Well, it's certainly an 18+ comic. I mean, there's full-on nudity. There's a couple of pages where May is depicted pleasuring herself, and I suppose that fits in the context of the story, but I do feel like it was gratuitous, especially since May kind of looks like she's an underage teen in the character design. But Sonoda draws his weapons and cars with amazing detail and delicacy. The figure work and character design is top-notch, and you can literally spend days just poring over the art just to look at the art. And at nearly 600 pages in this volume, it's 596 or 598 pages. You probably will be poring over the art, just looking at it, just gobsmacked. It's a very long read. It took me 6.5 hours, but then my eyes aren't what they used to be when I was younger, so maybe someone would go through it faster. I don't know. At times, because I was reading it, and it could be just because I read so much to get through this show, it did feel like a little bit of a slog. But then, like I said, it's 3 pages. It's just so many pages to read. I might have enjoyed a 3-book set where I could have just read each book in one at a time in succession instead. A little bit more than this huge tome. Hard to say. But if you're into the John Wick, Fast and Furious style of movies, then I suggest you better take to the streets and get this book. If it's not your thing for that type of genre of film or television series, then I would say pass on this series, because there is some, like I said, there is some graphic nudity, there is extreme violence, people get shot up pretty well. There's themes of molestation. Again, it's all in context. It does make sense in terms of the story. I wouldn't have done it as a creator, but that doesn't mean it was inappropriate for what the intent of the author and the intent of the story was. But because it is 18+, and because of that kind of turned me off a little bit, I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. But the art itself is easily a 4.5 to 5. Chris Hall says, never read the manga, but the anime was pretty good. I haven't seen the anime, so maybe we'll visit the anime sometime as well, and we can do a comparison contrast. Okay, let's take a quick look at some of that artwork. Now, excuse me a second. My sidekick wants to be in my lap here. That's midnight, as you all regular viewers know. But anyway, here's some of the art by Kenichi Sonoda. Beautiful illustration. Now, it's kind of weird. They do reverse some of the artwork in this to suit for American audiences, but the book itself is produced like a normal manga. So it reads from left or from right to left, or reverse of what normal American books are, more like traditional manga. But if you'll notice on the page on the left, Rowley's driving as though the car is, the driver's position is in the right side. And yet on the right page, she's driving on the proper left side. So little things like that do show up in the graphics on this. And there are some other graphic technical illustration type mistakes in the translations in this as well. And some people have criticized that, and fairly. So I thought I'd mention that as well. That's another reason why I knocked it down to a 3.5 instead of a 4 or 4.5 for that reason. But the artwork in terms of it, of just, the style of the work and the execution of the art is quite good. Here's a good example of how exquisitely detailed Sonoda's art is. He's very much got a fetish for weaponry. He's talking about the same gun. The Top Gun is the original model with a certain type of muzzle or barrel. And then the remake, the knockoff, is below it. And you can see the differences in how the barrel was made and how that affects both the production costs and how it affected the accuracy of the gun. It's all in there in the text. But the gun, you can see the differences, slight differences in how the gun is modeled. And I thought that was quite interesting that he did that way. Rally there in her outfit, along with the other people that she works with. And here's an action sequence again. Little girl falls down the middle of the road, and she gets run over by a truck. And I don't know how in the world they managed to get it to, it runs her over that way. But it's interesting that he gets rid of the details of certain things at this point. Like, yeah, he's got the idea of the drive shaft there spinning and her coat catching in it, and it's going to wrap her up into it and really tear her up. Pretty gruesome thing. But like, because of the speed the truck's going, you don't see like the rest of the undercarriage and underbelly of the vehicle. I thought that was an interesting choice. Just an overall thing going on where he does quite interesting choices, where he does a lot of exquisite detail on certain things and then kind of like skimps out on the detail on other things. And it's not like he does it without reason. It's just, I find it interesting. Okay, so that's pretty much our discussion for this week on Gunsmith Cats. We've got a couple of things to discuss for this week. But first off is next week on Monday Manga. We're going to stick with the bounty hunter theme for one more week. And this time we're going to take it to the stars with the ragtag crew of Spike Spiegel, Jet Black, Faye Valentine, and Edward Wong. 1, 2, 3, let's jam! Cowboy Bebop, the Tokyo Pop Complete Manga Collection in 2003 will be our topic of discussion. And lots to talk about on that, from everything to the content to how much this set actually sells on eBay for these days. I was quite surprised when I started looking up the graphics for a sample of this artwork here. Well, give me a reason to wear my Cowboy Bebop shirt next week. So anyway, that is next week's Monday Talk. Tomorrow, we'll be doing our crowdfunding discussion. We'll have a live interview with Matthew Blair and Frankie B. Washington of Kaijus and Cowboys. And we're going to be talking about their new issue that's just launched for crowdfunding today. So it'll be a brand new crowdfunding campaign to discuss. And we'll talk about the history of the series and other topics as well. That is tomorrow at 8 p.m. This Thursday, we got a lot to talk about. There'll be our Monday night reviews. We'll be talking about a whole bunch of different titles, including Back Issue 158, Shudder 21, the graphic novel Dream Over, the graphic novel Errand Boys, Welcome to the Maynard #4, Bug Wars #2, the graphic novel Black Star, Mouse Guard, Dawn of the Black Axe #1. I don't know what issue of Cruel Kingdom it is offhand. I think it's 4 or 5. The Absolute Green Lantern #1. There'll also be Absolute Martian Manhunter #1 and other topics as well that we'll be reviewing with Chris Hall. And on Friday this week, there'll be Star Wars, the Disney edition, with Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ahsoka, and the Acolyte being reviewed. So quite a bit to be discussed this week. As always, I want to thank you for watching. The monster is here, as you can see. He just wanted to be in my lap for a minute. I don't know what. I think it's because he's just cold. No. Want to say hi, everybody? Or are you just going to hide? You're going to hide. He's burying his head in my face. Or his head in my chest, I should say. Hello. Come on. Say hi, everybody. Hello. Yeah. There's our little mascot. Alrighty. Okay, folks. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. We do have one more thing here going on. I don't know what's doing with my computer here. Let's see what it's doing. No. I don't know why it's doing that. None of it's showing. Okay, great. All right. I'm not going to worry about it. That is weird that I'm not. I know where it's at. Okay, there we go. Sorry. If you have questions, reach me at Facebook, Lewis.BrightRaven, at the Muskrat channel at LewisBrightRaven2. See my art at deviantart.com/BrightRaven. I've been watching both the Raven, Lewis Raven, Bright Raven, and exclusively on YouTube. Oh, pardon me, my nose is starting to got hair in my nostril there. Oh boy. Okay. Okay, little one. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, Quoth Raven, Loose Bright Raven at YouTube. And if you have questions, email me at quothravenlbr72@gmail.com or lewisbrightraven@yahoo.com. That's all for now. We'll see you tomorrow, next time. Quoth the Raven, nevermore.